In the Skimmer book series, I thought we'd talk about the Chinese-owned mineral harvester that is stationed in the area that the skimmers deliver their manganese nodules to, and they get offloaded there to other ships. So let's look at the layout of this harvester. It's owned by a corporation called GlobeCorpMining, for lack of a better term or generic term in the novel series. It's huge. The Shell Prelude off Western Australia. The ship would be 10 times the size of that, so it's really a massive, almost an island in itself. And when skimmers arrive, of course, they arrive underneath the hull at 100 metres down, and they come up through the moon pool entrances, so they're dimly lit. So as they rise up, they enter the moon pool chute, and they end up surfacing in the moon pool. Docking clamps then secure each skimmer along these moon pools, and either side of them are conveyor belts and robotic arms. Now those robotic arms will automatically extend across and start unloading or offloading the trays of manganese nodules or polymetallic nodules, and they will slowly push them out in a narrow line onto the conveyor belt, which is always going. So then that will disappear into the hull of the ship, and the skimmer crews have nothing more to do with them after that. Now, along the conveyor belt is a boardwalk, and to get off the skimmer, of course, the crews spend the night there, and then they go out the next day once offloading has finished and back to another mining location. So they stay overnight. So they walk along the gangway. There's always a Chinese security detail patrolling there. There's certain regulations or maritime regulations about the freedom to operate in the moon pools versus the rest of the harvester. So they get off, take a night bag with them, and they're escorted to a lift which takes them to the deck above, which is the accommodation level for all civilian skimmer crews operating in the area. And the Chinese run that accommodation block. It's a little bit like a hotel at sea, so restaurant amenities, overnight cabins, so the crew can relax before they go out again. Now, above that deck, you've got the actual harvester operations deck. So that's where the harvester is run. Now, it's semi-autonomous, so it's got its own repair drones. Everything's automated. It's run by an artificial intelligence, both in terms of monitoring the offloading of nodules, of monitoring loadout onto ships that come alongside as well. So they do that from there. So there's cranes and conveyors that extend off the port and starboard side of the drone deck above when the ships come alongside to offtake nodules. So then you go above the operations level, you've actually got the drone bay, a bit like an aircraft carrier. Okay, so you've got where all the drones, both transport drones and patrol drones, are situated in the hangar deck or the drone deck. The patrol drones can take off outside of that when the portals are open. Otherwise, your usual lifts carry them up to the drone deck above. Now, there's what's called the hex tower or controller tower. I call it the hex because it's shaped like a hexagon. That can raise and lower itself, and that's the tower that controls operations for taking off and landing. So the drone deck has docking clamps, of course, so when transport and patrol drones come in to land, they're grabbed by an arm from a docking clamp and secured in place. So that's how the whole harvester operation works. They run their own security perimeter with underwater automated autonomous patrol drones in the security perimeter. They have to abide by maritime regulations, of course, for operating on the high seas, and conditions of use of the harvester differ between the moon pools, where you've got your civilians offloading skimmer, and being a state flag vessel, all the decks above that are, of course, come under the Chinese government as a state flagship. That's about it for the harvester. There are other things going on in the harvester, but again, I don't want to delve into the plot, more give my readers an overview of what's going on throughout the series and an orientation to everything without ruining the plot, of course. That's it for now.